Hi guys, I'm James with the Texas Louisiana Model Railroad Club in Orange, Texas. What we're trying different on this module is that where we have the joints at, right, where the two modules join together. Normally you would put a 9-inch drop in or a 3-inch drop in and then put the track together to join the modules. We're trying something different that we saw on YouTube. It's called PC board cross ties. And they come 33 to a fret, and if you look at it real close, they'll have gaps cut in each tie for the so it won't short it out when you put power through the track. What I have been doing is, like, I already have the PC cross ties in here and glued down. But this is what we start off with, a 9-inch straight. Cut the cross ties out. I would lay it down on the road bed, line up everything, get my cross ties cut, and they're very simple to do. You just take it, cut it off. Then what I do is on the ends you got just a little bit of trash. Do it like that and get them cut down. But then also on the back side we take a piece of sandpaper and we rough them up like this. So we put them down on the road bed. It's a rough surface instead of a smooth. It'll hold better once you glue it down. Now once I get everything cut, now sometimes we have to use something more than a 9-inch straight. We have to custom cut them, and that's what I did here. This one here to here is probably about, I don't know, 20 inches long. That's a custom cut, just the way everything fit. So I normally just take the 9-inch straight, put it down right here, get everything set up. I put the PC cross ties underneath like this, all the way. And what we normally do is 4 to 5, and then you try to put one right on the edge of the joint to give it some support. So I'll get them all set in place. I'll pull it out, and we use liquid nail as an adhesive. I'll spread the liquid nail all the way down along the track. Spread it out, put the track in, put the PC cross ties in, and before everything is set and dry, we make sure everything's straight. Then once everything's straight, I use the push pins. I just go on the edge of the track and push it down till it's just keeping the track down against the road bed. I'll put it all the way along and let it set for 24 hours. Come back, take them out, look at everything, make sure everything looks good. Then the next step is where I have to solder the rail to the PC board cross ties. Basically, it's just like, just get your soldering gun. Alright, continuing on the next step is soldering. One thing I found out, you got to have some really good flux and make sure it's fluxed really good. Just kind of dab it alongside the top of the cross ties. And go ahead and burn it off. Sometimes it takes a little bit. and still burning off. You try to get everything as much as you can.
And for those unfamiliar with the process, what is the purpose of the flux?
The flux is to clean off the surface that you're going to solder to.
So it's kind of like priming a wall before you paint it.
Yes. I can still see it burning off, so I'm going to make sure I got everything good. Because if you don't, it will mess your soldering up. Alright, let's try it and see. I only do one section at a time. Alright, I just started soldering. What I like to do, I like to check the height of the rail against the PC cross tie. Sometimes the rail's a little high, so I push it down, make sure the rail gets soldered to the PC cross tie. Now, another thing that you have to worry about too is your flanges on your track. I always use an MRA guide to make sure I'm not bowing the track too far out or too far in. And what I see there, it looks good. So, just continuing. Okay, one side done. When the flux works, you get a good job, soldering job. My soldering is not the best in the world. Try to put as little as possible. All right, that's the first one done.
And basically you'll repeat that process for all the rest of them.
That is correct. Yeah, it's just, it's a long, tedious process because when you start, you have to get your track mocked up, make sure everything's right, pull everything off, put everything back down with the glue, make sure everything's straight. It's a long process. It takes a while. I've done a bunch of these so far, and I got to admit, I'm getting better at it. It's just, you got to make sure you flux it good. One of the other ones I just did, I noticed there's still a little flux left. It didn't get burned off all the way. It caused me a little trouble.
So we'll come back when we reach the next series of steps in this process, so as not to oversaturate one particular step in the process.
All right, we're back. I got all these PC board cross ties soldered down to the track. After I finished, I ran my track gauge across it. Everything looks good. One thing I want to stress, when you do this, get the right amount of flux on there and burn it all off, because if you don't, you're going to have problems like I just had. I had to go back and redo some of them with some flux and reheat it. Now, we have a few more steps to go before we finish up. So we'll show you that on another module in a minute. Ready? Okay. This is what it looks like after we finish with it. We took the PC cross ties, used alcohol with a Q-tip to clean all the cross ties off. Then we come back and we painted them engine black to match the other ties. And then the last step, if you look real close, you can see a gap right here on all three tracks that you cut using a Dremel tool We use a diamond bit cut-off disc. It does real good. Now over here, we did it here too, but these are like angles, so I don't know how good this is going to work. We'll have to wait and see how that works out. But you can see here, it's a little bit out of alignment, so we'll probably have to do some adjustments with the module to make it line up. But that's the finished project. We did this on our yard tracks. We're going to see how it works, and if it works good, then we'll continue doing the rest of the main lines like this. But we're hoping it works, because it's going to be a lot easier putting these modules together, lining them up. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching.